What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Team Solemn Circus live video. Today we're going to go over Branded Despia. This deck is one of my fan favorite decks I've been playing for such a while. We did see a hit of 2 Branded Fusion from the ban list. Absolutely gone. But that's not going to matter. We're still going to play the deck. The deck's going to still be amazing. We kept Sanctifier, therefore we're still going to be able to give a couple to our opponents. Now, probably the right hit was definitely to hit Sanctifier, but Konami decided not to do that. Therefore, we're still going to be able to play this deck. So before we dive in, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Helps the channel a lot. We're on the road to 10K. And yeah, we're going to dive in. Starting off with a 3 Albaz. The man, the myth, the legend. He's still played at 3. We're definitely going to need it. Going second, normal summoning is never really a bad option to use the effect to go into a copy of Mirror Jade. There is a lot less Omni-Gates on the field now, so we're going to be able to use this a lot more. Appaloosa is now gone, which definitely boosts up the deck quite a bit. Secondly, we are playing triple copies of Aluber. Searching for your Branded Fusion is going to be always a thing now. So this can be able to hit with Valor and Imperm a lot more. We are playing the 2 copies of Cartesia. I definitely can see this a world where we're going to be bumping up this up to 3, but with the copy of Fusion Deployment, or I guess Branded Deployment, this is accounting kind of as a 5 of, which is this there. Then we have the double copies of Quem. I think now that we see Branded Fusion down to 1, this is a mandatory 2 of absolutely now. Before it was still debatable. I think that 2 is definitely better, but playing 2 of it now just is insanely mandatory. Then for the last, we are playing the 3 copies of Albion. You can cut this down to 2. This is a 45 or 46 card deck. If you're playing 40, you can definitely cut it down to 2 to see it more often. But you want to be able to maximize it, starting off with a copy of, if you have like this, and this in your hand, you want to start off with this, dumping a copy of Albaz, then drawing a card, being able to summon out Cartesia there, normal summon with the Aluber, and then activating the effects so you can dodge copies of Imperm. Now we also see 1 copy of Tragedy, 1 copy of Kit, and 2 copies of Mercurier. So I'll mention these 2 here. We are playing the double Mercurier. This is a bit of an addition now that we have been playing for a bit now. We are not playing the Allure of Darkness. It definitely is an option that you guys can play. But if that was the case, I'd probably bump up the Tragedy to 2. Tragedy also comes up setting the Branded Fusion a lot more than it has before in the past. But the new All-Star in the deck is Kit. Now, a lot of players have been playing Kit for a while now. This card's absolutely mandatory. Being able to add back a copy of Branded Fusion or adding it to the hand in different ways just makes it that you have to be able to search it more often. Being able to banish it with the copy of Fusion Duplication and adding it back from the Banish Zone with Kit can come up so many times. It's just important to note that you just have to be able to add it back constantly. You can get multiple Branded Fusions kind of resolving that way. If your first one gets ashed, you set a copy of Duplication. Duplication then banishes it. Then you could, during the follow-up turn, summon out the Kit, add back the Branded Fusion, and you have it once again. And then we also have the Lubellion, as well as the Sorenir, and the Game of Puppet Nightmare. Unfortunately, we didn't see this getting hit. I don't know why Konami decided not to. Whatever, this kind of doesn't matter, but we are playing only 1 Sorenir. If you're playing multiple High Spirits, you definitely could bump this up to 2 or 3. Unfortunately, we're just not playing that. I think that this card is kind of cope. You're going to see that get ashed as well. The 1 copy is searchable enough, and you can just play with the end phase as our main phase 3. But moving on to the spells, we're playing the 1 of God card, Branded Fusion. This hurts. Konami, why'd you do this? This card's a crazy card, but it's not Ostinato, right? This card is super fair. Ash just hurts the deck so much. If we could activate more than 1 per turn like Ostinato, it definitely would be kind of fair. But it's just not. So, if you get Ash and you find a way to add it back, you just have to find a way to play without this card. And it just definitely really hurts. I don't really know why they did that. Hopefully, if we put this back to 2 or up to 3. We are now playing Branded Opening, always at 3. Going to be staying at 3 until it gets hit once again. 3 copies of Fusion Deployment or Branded Deployment, whatever you want to. Someone with your copy of Albaz, someone with your copy of Cartesia. Maybe we'll get a Quem Fusion in the future, which can then summon it out, bumping up the consistency quite a bit more. We are on double copies of Branded in red. Now that we see Branded Fusion get hit, this card definitely helps you play a lot more as well. With the Albion, getting your fusions to go off more helps as much as you can. The 1 copy of Lost, the 1 copy of High Spirit, and the 1 copy of Branded in white. Sorry for the glare there. I do want to apologize. So Branded in white is a newer addition to the deck because of Branded Fusion got hit. We added a copy of Branded in white, the copy of Kit, and then itself. So this just allows us to fusion summon. Is a fusion spell. It also looks cool if that helps you want to play it a little bit more. But it has the same effect as High Spirits. That if it's sent to the graveyard as an Albaz, you can add it back to the hand with this turn, which is quite nice. Or I guess you set it, but whatever. Same kind of thing. You can't discard it, I guess, as you can discard High Spirits for the Branded Fusion effect. or the fusion effect, but this is going to set us up with the field, which lets you activate it during the follow-up turn. It just lets you fuse during your using your graveyard, which is important when you have only limited effects to fuse. So, you know, kind of have to play it now, which definitely just sucks, but oh well. Then for consistency, we're playing Gold Sark. We're also playing the copy of Cobble the Grave. Stop those Ash Blossoms, which is now more relevant than ever. You can play Nadir Servant. We're not playing it in this build, but that definitely is an option that you guys can play, which we might explore more in the future. Now for the other cards, we're playing triple copies of Book of Eclipse. Before this was Dark Ruler No More, but this helps you dodge Imperm more than ever on your copies of Aluber, searching your copies of Brand Fusion. It also helps you break boards, so kind of doing the same thing, but letting you also play. Just kind of does a little bit more. We are playing triple copies of Forbidden Droplets. I was playing its Melodious the other day, and I ended up like dropletsing, sending the copy of like Opening and a bunch of other stuff as well. You know, it was like Chainlink 4. He ended up beating me still, but it was still funny being like Chainlink 4 up to just sending your spells. It was like High Spirits 1, Brand Opening 2, something else 3, and then this 4, which is like sent all the cards, the spells I was already activating. I think I started off with a Fusion Deployment, which was like Chainlink 1, Chainlink 2 Opening, Chainlink 3 in red after I already Albion, then Chainlink 4 this, if I do recall. So like just being able to send those cards you're going to activate to like negate their board can be huge, but just being able to be good going first or second. Then we're still playing the double copies of Thrust, double copies of Talents. You definitely can bump this up to 3 and put this up to 2, or put this up down to 1, I should say. But yeah, this being able to search for Brand Fusion, going second, is absolutely insane. We have to do that now. And being able to set the copy of Duplication is now no longer as good, which is why you're going to be cutting this down to 1 card here. You only play 1 Duplication. You'll never see 2 of this. If you're playing 2, you're not playing it correctly, because 2 Duplication, all it can really consistently use is the copy of Fusion Deployment, which is just not the greatest. You know, you can summon a Cartesia, you can summon an Albaz using it that way, but it's just not the same as, you know, activating Brand Fusion to go directly into a Sanctifier. Now for the last card, we are playing 1 copy of Retribution. You can play Sword as well if you wanted to add back the copy of Brand Fusion, but Retribution is quite nice, being able to even set this card. If you're playing the Deer, setting this card is actually extremely underrated. Now moving on to the extra deck, we are still playing very similar. 2 copies of Mirror Jade, 2 copies of Albion, 1 copy of Lubellion, 1 copy of Albion the Sanctifier. Konami, why didn't you hit this card? At least make it a QCR. 1 copy of Titaniclad. This card comes up so much, people don't realize how useful this card is. A lot of times if you do have an Ash, ashing this can be quite beneficial. 1 copy of Rinbrum, 1 copy of the Abelentus. Tempai is still really relevant, therefore we're going to be playing this more than ever. 2 copies of Branganol, 1 copy of Quiritus, 1 copy of Guardian Chimera, 1 copy of Dracospelia, and the 1 copy of the Boreal Furious. So all these cards are kind of mandatory in the deck. I think Branganol to 2 is just absolutely like needed, and some people are wanting to cut it. But if you're playing 3 Quem or 3 Cartesia, which I definitely can see builds doing that more so in the future, 2 is definitely needed for the deck. There's not really much, like this is their kind of our 2 flex spots if you wanted to play it. This being able to pop the Tempai field spell or any of the Gimmick Puppet field spell can definitely help you out quite a bit in a pinch. You also can protect with Opening, so you don't actually destroy your card. And then Brandon, I guess, Part of Plant just summons you out if you get hit under Shifter, which did not get hit. Therefore, you need to kind of play through it, which is why we're playing the copy of Dracospelia. That's it for the deck profile. If you guys want to see more videos about this deck, let me know in the comment section down below. I can do an updated combo video or, you know, doing some more duels, depending on what you guys want to be seeing. But regardless, let me know in the comment section down below. Don't forget to stay safe. Peace.